fragment of pieces. Indeed, you are. You have become a part of this. You have become someone else as a result of your gambling, professional setbacks, or anything else that didn't work out the way you had hoped. You're a narcissist, which makes you extremely harsh to others. I didn't see that. She 10 to 15 minutes later. Bipolar disorder that is straight. Was given a diagnosis of it. Man, you're not Cardi B. Let's maintain a B. This demonstrates how fake you are. Men and women, the culture is rocked. Yes, Eazy, the block's captain, smacked her with the coldest breakup of the decade, leaving Remy Ma completely devastated emotionally. And why? Not a male, not a well-known rapper, not even a blogger with influence. She had an affair with a woman. Face flushed. Oh, you thought things would settle down in 2025? This isn't simply tea, so reconsider. This is an extremely hot tsunami. We're discussing coded Instagram tales, backroom hookups, betrayal, and a mysterious woman who goes by Z. Indeed, covert security camera footage from a Brooklyn lesbian bar with a plant theme. You're not. I'm kidding. Is this papoose retaliation? Is this a PR ploy gone wrong? Or is Remy getting into such a messy love triangle that Jada and Will appear to be a healthy couple? Now, where is Eazy? What's causing Remy to cry live? And who the hell is this unidentified woman that is stealing? Is the Queen's world inverted? Become cozy? Because what you're going to hear could potentially bring down the entire internet, because it's so crazy and absurd. Greetings from the most outrageous expose of the year. Let's begin. People often advise against meeting your idols, but they fail to mention that you should never sleep with your spiritual advisor, mentor, or both. Since Offset unintentionally went public in someone else's direct messages, hip-hop has witnessed the most astounding, eyebrow-raising, and relationship-destroying scandal that has recently centered on Remy Ma. It's more than simply drama. This is a change in genre, a total cinematic makeover of her profession, love life, public persona, and perhaps even her sanity. And yes, the internet is devouring. Eazy, the block captain, is the first. The poster kid for battle rap. The man who, more quickly than most rappers can claim, rose from underground underdog to top-tier superstar. URL, check for charisma bars, deadly, swagger. Fans adored him, and enemies studied him because he had just the right amount of that Philly bite. Then there was Remy Ma, the lioness, the legend, the media tycoon, the rap icon, and the third person who said, "Don't play with me. I'll actually shoot you." She was the boss, the mentor, and the creator of the Queen. However, something changed in between the late-night tour bus rides and the boardroom sessions. The atmosphere abruptly shifted. Interviews became disturbingly flirtatious instead of being simply professional. Too long were Eazy's eyes. It was too simple for Remy to chuckle. And the tension was peeped by the fans. Twitter became the hip-hop equivalent of CSI. The comments on Instagram appeared to be full-length Reddit posts. No one was inquiring as to whether they were playing about. They were being questioned about how long they had been doing it. They initially disputed it. They did, of course. "No," Remy responded. "It's all business." "Easy," said Big Sis. Then came the Soho dinner, though. The tall, hairy woman with a nose ring, sage in her handbag, and the enigmatic third guest. Some claimed she was a known seductress, while others claimed she was an accused healer. Then, like a stylish Nova dress on a windy day, everything began to fall apart. You see, viewers were unaware of Remy's behind-the-scenes struggles. The fairy papooses story was broken. By late 2023, the Black Love poster pair, according to sources, were hardly communicating. Tweets that are passive-aggressive. Lengthy sessions in the studio. A birthday that is not shared. No one wanted to read the signs even though they were there. Then, in search of equilibrium, Remy meets Ziana, sometimes known as Z, a spiritual counselor whose clientele includes bitter influencers and blacklist actors. Soul Whisperer is how she describes herself. Her admirers refer to her as the feminine equivalent of the man who conducts live Instagram pyramid schemes in hotel lobbies. Remy went down hard. Nightly FaceTimes, tantric yoga sessions, and private two-person sound baths in hotel suites evolved from what began as chakra cleansing. According to a source, Remy booked Z for a threesome and didn't go anywhere without her by January. Tour as her manager of energy. What is this energy management chick in charge of? Your bedroom or your aura? Eazy, in the meantime, was still present. Just enough to be noticeable and helpful. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere was oppressive, but they would show up together for press runs, exchange a few smirks, and feed the people. The information was revealed anonymously by one of E's battle rap friends. She made that man believe he was the king, but he was only a ruse. Then came the turning point in the story. Eazy got ethered after he entered a fight with Geechee Gotti, presumably expecting to deliver another lyrical murder. Not by bars, but by screenshots, rumors, and actual receipts. Giatti expressed what everyone was thinking while standing 10 feet tall. "Are you out here having sex with the wife of a rapper?" The audience let out a gasp. At that precise moment, you could feel Remy's soul departing her body. As if it were a sitcom, someone in the audience yelled, "Damn," and "None." And like a youngster caught playing with matches, Eazy stood motionless and set fire to the entire house. It wasn't merely a defeat in that battle. For Eazy's regard, it was a funeral for Remy's secrets, for whatever strange power struggle they were publicly enacting. Everything fell apart after that night. Eazy disappeared, stopped performing, and removed Remy's name from his biography. Remy attempted to play it while he informed his boss, according to a close source. "I don't care if she's with a man, woman, or a Martian. She played me like a game she already beat. Cool till she was unable to." Someone inquired about Ease in the comment section of a live video that was intended to advertise a beauty product. She hesitated, blinked quickly, and then snapped, weeping. Actual ones. Not that sniffle cry of an influencer. This was deep breathing and diaphragm shaking. "I started crying." She stated, "People think they know what's going on, but they don't know the whole story. I've been hurt too." Wait a minute. "Ma'am, did you get hurt? You want to be the victim after double dipping in the love triangle fondue?" However, it wasn't simple for those who felt deceived. Months earlier, her husband Papoose had supposedly already packed bags. He had been emotionally checked out since learning about Z long before the bloggers appeared, according to a family source. Yes, exactly. This was more than just adultery. There was more than one girl-on-girl controversy. Layered betrayal was what this was. Eazy believed he was the key, but he wasn't alone. It turns out that no one told the side guy that the other woman was the primary one. Then, as if the storyline couldn't be much more complicated, a grainy rooftop snapshot appears. Z and Remy hold hands while drinking candlelight wine. Even if you couldn't see their faces, you could sense the atmosphere as well as the fan's caption that was placed. "Before she appears on an episode of For My Man, someone should come get you, Aunt." And that's when it becomes nuclear, my friends. Because it wasn't simply tears that followed, as well as heartache. It included voice messages, financial fraud allegations, leaks, a necklace valued at more than your mother's rent that was given on a label budget, and rumors of a potential inquiry into the way money was transferred to maintain Z's extravagant lifestyle. This is where it all begins, because in part 2, we'll be delving into the backdoor agreements, the leaked direct messages, and a purported healing retreat in Tulum that might have been a lavish love nest paid for with promotional funds intended for E's tour. Yes, you heard correctly. The tea has lost its steaming hotness. It's scalding criminally. Just wait to find out who else might have known and chosen to remain silent if you thought this was crazy. Greetings from the actual turmoil. Are you prepared? Now, let's discuss the finances. Because you should reconsider assuming that this was merely a matter of sentiment and flirtation. This wasn't just a love triangle. It was a financial hoax, dang it. Several leaked documents and messages that were retrieved by sources indicate that we did not fabricate them at all. According to reports, Remy was transferring label monies to help Z maintain his opulent lifestyle. Yes, the Billboard Hot 100. Now, with a $22,000 iced-out Cuban link that says Align, what precisely does a spiritual advisor need? And why was the necklace purchase included as an Eazy tour clothing expense? Yes, give that some thought. Eazy didn't even realize the cost until 2 weeks after the chain was seen in one of Z's since-deleted Instagram stories, according to people close to his management. You are aware of the streets were on fire, but the comments were disabled on the Sunday Reset post that featured her sipping green juice while wearing a velvet robe with the statement, "Not all queens wear crowns. Some wear power." The burner DMs suddenly start to leak just when you thought the murmurs were over. Not just any DMs either. The betrayal wasn't even subtle at this point. We're talking screenshots from a Fanina account linked to Ray's email that contained voice notes and late-night poetry, purportedly sent to Z with captions like, "I don't want to be fixed. I just want to be seen, and you see me. Ma'am, you're married to Papoose, the man who held you down through a bid, a baby, and a damn Bet Awards tribute." It had a theatrical quality. It would have been deemed implausible by critics if this had occurred in a Tyler Perry film. However, this was true. Sloppy, live-streamed, and quickly becoming a legal issue. Because things get ugly here, anonymous individuals inside Remy's own labels began speaking when rumors of poor financial management surfaced on the blogosphere. They uttered a few things that turned the tea into pure gasoline. One source claims that money intended to relieve block pressure was inexplicably diverted to pay for what they said were wellness costs. These included a silk meditation tent, personalized crystal-infused candles, a 4-day healing retreat in Tulum, and a set of rose quartz yoni eggs. Something obviously isn't adding up, unless Eazy intends to use breathwork and vaginal gemstone healing to battle his problems. Behind the scenes, an alleged internal audit has already begun. Very real, but quiet and private. Emails have been retrieved, lawyers have been called, and it's simple. He is reportedly collaborating completely. Papoose isn't sitting quietly through this either, you can be sure of that. It was suggested by one of his longtime associates that Pap might be creating his own receipts. Photos, screenshots, and even CCTV footage purportedly taken from their home studio show Z, arriving and departing during times that would raise suspicions among nuns. One clip that has been rumored to exist but hasn't been made public yet shows Z arriving at the studio around 1:38 a.m. and not leaving until around 6 in the morning. They weren't recording a track either. Except for the type of groaning that doesn't need auto-tune, they weren't even mic'd up. This is where things start to get really dark. Do you recall the private rooftop incident from part 1 that was leaked? The hand-holding, the candlelight? As it happens, it wasn't the first time. Numerous anonymous tipsters have sent images from places around the country, including Miami, Los Angeles, and even New Orleans, where Remy and Z were reportedly seen sharing intimate moments in public, but in a way that was too subtle to be noticed. But everything is spilling out now that the floodgates are open. Old posts are being zoomed in on by bloggers. Interviews are being scrubbed by fans. Z talks about falling in love with a woman who wasn't sure if she was ready to choose peace over power in a 2024 podcast, according to one source. Does that sound familiar? But here's the real kicker. Z is said to have signed an NDA. Yes, a non-disclosure agreement that Ray's own legal counsel drafted. However, you know what? This month, in May 2025, that NDA ended. Z has also been blogging a bit more brazenly and cryptically ever since. People are going crazy over one tweet in particular. The cosmos can occasionally send you catastrophe cloaked in conviction and curls. Is she referring to Remy herself, or the complete mess that this whole issue has devolved into? Nobody is aware. However, the phrase received 800K views in less than 12 hours. And naturally, it started a TikTok craze called Our Chaos Curls, in which viewers act out their own destructive relationships in spiritual contexts. Greetings from the internet. In the meantime, this is being watched like a pay-per-view by the battle rap community. Online, Eazy's competitors are making fun of him. Even a trash song called Blocked by Love with the Hook was posted. She dipped with the gardener and handed you the castle's keys. It was brutal, but Eazy's answer, silence on the radio. All references to Remy have been removed from his platforms. Untagged old photographs, unfollowed her, and unfollowed the label. According to a close acquaintance, he's in his healing phase, which in rap parlance means he's planning a brutal comeback that will make Ether sound like a love ballad. What is the streets talking, though, is this. Just murmurs, but there are them. It's possible that Eazy is getting ready to tell his own story. No one knows if it's a battle, a podcast, or a direct interview with the Breakfast Club. However, according to an insider, the entire game changes if he speaks. Even Remy forgot some of the things he knows. Phew, she said. Suddenly, what had begun as a low-key A mentor and her protege's romance has now turned into a full-fledged media scandal, complete with financial audits, emotional trauma, shattered marriages, and a suspiciously adaptable healer at its core. But you know what? It hasn't ended yet. We're going to go into the fallout in part 3. The speculations that Papoose may be filing separation papers, the brand deals being canceled, the silent calls to networks, the PR cover-ups, the fact that Remy hasn't blogged in over a week, and, most surprising of all, the hints that Z may be signing her own deal with a rival label. We're not even at the bottom yet, darling, and this rabbit hole has just become a wormhole. Are you prepared for the third act? Let's put an end to this mess. You're telling me now that the scandal sorceress, soul saver, and spiritual side woman is set to sign a record deal? According to the blog streets, Z, the poetic, incense-burning, astrological tweeting root cause of all this drama, is allegedly being courted by a rival label. This isn't just any label either. It's the same label that attempted to steal Eazy from Remy last year, the pettiest play in the industry. This is shocking because we thought the mess had reached its limit. One source with insider connections claims that after Z's Chaos Curls tweet went popular, an A&R representative contacted her and offered her a creative partnership that includes an empowerment tour, a podcast, and, wait for it, an R&B EP with an energy theme called Moon in Scorpio. This cannot be made up. This is no longer a scandal. It's performance art. These days, the love triangle is a brand tactic. An entire rollout. And you know who's getting left behind? Ma Remy. Yes, Remy. Once the meme, the puppet master. The queenpin of the business. The cautionary tale that went viral. As if she had just lost Verzu's fight against karma, the same woman who declared, "I'll smack a chick today and then again tomorrow," is currently hiding from the public. She hasn't made any posts. Not even a burner like quiet, not a tweet, not a tale. And it's hardly peace when a woman like Remy Ma stops talking. Twitter isn't the only thing making fun of her behind the scenes, so it's a pressure cooker. Her own group is disintegrating. Silently, brand partners are leaving. According to reports, a cosmetic brand deal was put on hold indefinitely, the day after it was discovered through stolen direct messages that she might have booked a posh apartment in Z's name in Paris. Yes, the rabbit hole has expanded internationally. Leaked concierge emails reveal that a second visitor was registered under the moniker Saw Evers, which coincidentally happens to be the same nickname she used on her previous YouTube Reiki tutorials. It appears that Remy was in Paris for a brand shoot during Fashion Week in February. Is it a coincidence? Not at all. More lies in fancy robes, nothing more. Not to be overlooked is Papoose. This man held her down for years through jail, through career pauses, and through a public miscarriage. He was hip-hop's spokesperson for loyalty, but he's done now. According to people close to Pap, he is spiritually divorced and is only remaining legally married to safeguard their joint assets while they wait for things to settle down. According to one buddy, he has been residing in Atlanta for the past month, discreetly purchasing real estate, attending meetings with producers, is working on his own solo album. The title unfollowed too. It's delivering lemonade to Beyoncé post. It's bringing Usher into the age of confessions. You're getting made your bed. I'm now filming a Fire 16 about it. Get this while we're talking about Fallout. Now, some battle rap leagues are reevaluating their alliances with Eazy because of the criticism from Remy's devoted fan base, not because of the affair. You know, the people who, like in 2008, are still writing "Free Remy" on walls and shouting arrogant phrases in Instagram comments. Yes, they are angry. Eazy is being referred to as a serpent by those who claim that he bit the hand that fed him. Others, however, are fighting for him, saying he was twisted and used as a boy toy with bars, a pawn, or a decoy. A true gender war is being waged. Through TikTok duets and subtweets, a fan shared a video titled "Why Eazy Was the Real Victim," which featured voiceovers from Ray's previous interviews, slideshow receipts, and depressing R&B music. The clip struck 4 million views in a single day. But hold on, things get worse. Multiple customer testimonials supposedly praising Z's connection-based treatment were released when someone broke into her private Telegram wellness group. Translation: well-known and wealthy women write letters that sound far more like confessions of love than constructive criticism. According to one message purportedly from a female rapper whose name rhymes with Belanda, "You didn't just help me heal. You helped me feel alive again. I'll never forget what your hands did to my heart." Ma'am, what did your hands do to it? It is being devoured by the bloggers. The level of speculation has never been higher. According to one YouTuber, Remy's NDA may have been the only one broken out of the 7 that Z has in the entertainment sector. And now there are lawsuit rumors. According to reports, Remy's label team met with legal counsel to talk about repairing the company's reputation and possible slander lawsuits against former staff members who have been speaking to the media. This is a brand meltdown, a complete cultural implosion, and the worst part is that it didn't have to get this bad. An assistant who was fired last week said on a podcast, "The vibe was off." She was smiling differently. You don't smile like that unless somebody is rubbing sage on your soul and other places too. We're not even in gossip territory anymore. We're in Chernobyl levels of exposure. The court of public opinion has spoken, and baby, it isn't pretty. Papoos's honest glow-up easily and quietly rebranded Z, capitalizing, monetizing, and ascending, while Remy posted nothing, saying anything, possibly lawyering up and hoping the next scandal overshadows hers. But here's the final twist. Some fans now believe this was all orchestrated. Yes, there's a growing theory that this was a long-game PR stunt gone wrong, that the affair was planted to generate buzz, that the heartbreak was scripted, and that even the leaks were controlled chaos designed to get Eazy and Z on the map. If that's the case, it could be the most brilliant disaster since Kris Jenner turned a sex tape into an empire. But if not, then we've just seen the unvarnished, unadulterated, very real collapse of one of the most iconic women in hip-hop. And honestly, we watched, clicked, shared, and dissected, and we couldn't take our eyes off it because, in the age of clout, nothing is sacred. Not love, loyalty, or even legacy. So the real question is, was Remy Ma a victim of temptation or her own ego? Did Eazy, the block captain, get played, or was he always just another chess piece? And C, is she the villain, the healer, or the silent puppet master of an entire industry scandal? You decide. But before you log out, ask yourself, if Remy can fall, who's next? If you made it this far, congratulations. You've officially survived one of the messiest, juiciest, and most spiritually unhinged love triangles in hip-hop history. But now the mic is in your hands. Was Eazy the block captain truly a victim, or was he playing the long game and just fumbled the bag with no backup plan? And look at Chili. Is she a witch, a healer, or a good therapist with a Pinterest board? And a masterclass in mind control? Let's argue. Let's drag. Let's speculate carelessly. Brain, drop your conspiracy theories in the comments. Fire. Tell us which team you're on. Team Remy, Team Eazy, or Team Zed, the Zen Destroyer mobile phone. Oh, and don't forget to hit subscribe because, baby, this is just the beginning of the toxic iceberg. New scandals, new receipts, and new chaos weekly, on time, and unfiltered. Because even though the truth may free some people, we're here for the drama. If you don't want to miss the next relationship apocalypse, turn on post notifications. We will cover it first if Papoose releases the disc album. I am merely your algorithm's sarcastic savior, exposer, and messenger.